Hey everyone, it's Megan, certified nutrition practitioner and also the creator of Skinny Fitalicious, where you get low-calorie, gluten-free recipes made with real food ingredients. And today I want to talk to you about the number one question I get from clients and readers, and it's what diet is right for me? Low carb, low calorie, low fat, keto. There are all of these diet trends that are constantly going on, and they've been going on for decades, and people are still confused. And I'm a nutrition practitioner, and I work in the nutrition field every single day, and even I get confused sometimes at the conflicting information out there. I mean, like me, if you're reading Facebook, if you're reading anything online these days, you are completely bombarded with so much information, and this information is conflicting and it doesn't make sense. One week, red wine is good for your heart. The next week, it's bad for your brain. One week or one decade, we're supposed to not eat butter. And a few decades later, we're supposed to eat butter. I mean, I remember the days when I can't believe it's not butter was a staple in my diet because that was the trend, not to eat any fat. And now people are actually putting real grass-fed butter in their coffee and mixing it up. And by the way, I can't get on board with that. But the point is, one day fat is supposed to be bad for you, the next day it's supposed to be good for you. And it's confusing, and I can see why it's confusing for people. It's enough to make your head go, whoa, what am I supposed to do? Because all of this information is so frustrating and confusing, and it's so hard to navigate. This is exactly why the women that I work with in my membership and in my 14-day sugar challenge, I'm always talking about focusing on eating real food and not focusing on these diet trends. These diet trends are exactly that. They are a trend, just like wearing bell bottoms are a trend. They're in for a while and then they're out, and you put them in the back of your closet and maybe you'll take them out again. They are not a habit. They are not a lifestyle. It is a trend. So one of the things I really work with my clients on is freeing themselves from these diet trends, because a lot of times it's really easy to get hung up on wondering if you just have bad genes and you're just meant to be fat, or thinking, hey, I might need a DNA test or some kind of, food sensitivity test to see if I'm really just prone to certain things because I can't lose weight. I mean, I have clients all the time come to me and they're doing gluten-free diets and they don't have a medical reason for being gluten-free. You should only be eating gluten-free if you really have a medical reason for it. And most people are self-diagnosing and not having those real reasons. And it's frustrating when they have to navigate those things on their own. And it's just like I said earlier, you don't know if you're supposed to be eating low fat. You don't know if you're supposed to be eating high fat. And it's just so confusing because there's all this conflicting information. And what I try to teach all of my clients is getting back to the basics, getting back to eating real foods and focusing less on these diet trends. And there was a study recently that I read, and I loved this study because it just goes so well with everything that I preach to all of my clients and to you guys. And the thing about it is that it looked at groups of people who were doing low-fat diets as well as low-calorie diets. And both of these groups of people lost the same amount of weight when they focused on eating real food. So that meant they were eliminating all the junk from their diet, all the processed food, all the extra sugar that gets snuck into our diet. They focused on eating real food, these two groups of people, and they basically lost the same amount of weight. There was maybe a 1 pound difference. So what this study suggests is that focusing on real food is really the key. It's not about really doing a certain diet. I have clients come to me all the time. They've been doing keto. They don't have good energy. Some women lose their periods on it. It's not a great diet, especially for women. And it's not something sustainable long term. This is why I don't like diets, because they are trends, because they do not create a long-term lifestyle that people can maintain. And I believe in stopping these diets and focusing on filling our bodies with real wholesome foods that fill us up, give us energy, and help us naturally lose weight. So I know what you're thinking. That's great, Megan, but there's still all this other stuff to figure out when it comes to eating real food. And I got you, because going to a grocery store these days is really confusing. You go into a grocery store and I will say 90% of the food is unhealthy. I will say that right off the bat. So it is really confusing. And most of my clients are saying, you know, you're probably sitting there yourself saying, how do I plan my meals? What's the right portion sizes that I should be eating? How do I make food that actually tastes good and food that my family is going to like? How do I tackle my sugar cravings so that I, don't go running to the ice box for ice cream all night long or for potato chips and cookies? So that cycle is something that takes time to work on. And that is exactly what I work on with my clients in the 14-day sugar challenge. That is what I work with my clients in the membership program on. These are things that can be accomplished through real food eating, and I have the solution for you, and it's coming in January. So I want you to get ready. I'm going to be talking all about this in January in my new free series, The Dish on Ditching Diets, and I'm so excited to share it with you, give you all my secrets around how I actually work with my clients, get them to eat real food and make it delicious, make it a lifestyle. So get ready. January, it's going to be coming. We're going to be talking about it. It's a totally free series, and I am going to be giving it away for free. So whoever signs up for that series, you're going to get it delivered to your inbox starting in January. And I am so excited to share all these details with you guys, because it's time to get off the diets and it's time to eat real food. Any comments or questions, guys? I'd love to hear from you guys. Please drop them below and let's chat.